Right now, 130 countries representing 98% of global GDP are actively developing their own digital currency. That is not a prediction. That is happening right now. Today, China has already launched its digital yuan to over 260 million users. The European Central Bank is actively developing the digital euro with a projected launch date of 2027. The Federal Reserve is actively researching the digital dollar. Sweden has already reduced physical cash usage to just 8% of all transactions. In Norway, physical cash is used in less than 3% of all transactions. And according to the Bank for International Settlements, the complete elimination of physical cash from the global economy is no longer a question of whether. It is only a question of when. But here is what nobody is telling ordinary people about this transition. The replacement of physical cash with government-controlled digital currency is not just a technological upgrade. It is the single most significant transfer of financial power from ordinary people to governments and financial institutions in human history. And it is being built right now, without most ordinary people having any idea what it actually means for their financial freedom. Today we are going to show you exactly what is being built, who is building it, what it will mean for every ordinary person's financial life, and what the data says every ordinary person must understand before it is too late. In 2006, cash accounted for approximately 68% of all global transactions. By 2023, that figure had fallen to approximately 17%. In the United Kingdom, cash usage fell from approximately 60% of all transactions in 2008 to approximately 15% in 2023. In Sweden, physical cash usage has already fallen to just 8% of all transactions, making it the closest country in the world to being completely cashless. In China, mobile payment platforms including Alipay and WeChat Pay processed approximately 540 trillion yuan in transactions in 2022 alone. That is approximately $75 trillion. Processed through 2 privately owned digital payment platforms. In a single year. In Australia, physical cash usage fell from approximately 69% of all transactions in 2007 to approximately 13% in 2022. And according to a 2023 study by the Bank for International Settlements, approximately 93% of all central banks in the world are now actively researching or developing their own central bank digital currency. That is 93% of all central banks, representing virtually every single major economy on the planet, all simultaneously building the technology that will replace the physical cash that has been the foundation of human financial exchange for approximately 3,000 years. Most ordinary people have heard the term central bank digital currency mentioned in the news. But most ordinary people have never been clearly and honestly told what it actually is. And more importantly, what it is fundamentally different from the money they currently use. A central bank digital currency is a form of digital money issued directly by a government central bank. It is not cryptocurrency like Bitcoin. Bitcoin is decentralized, meaning no single government or institution controls it. A central bank digital currency is the exact opposite. It is completely centralized, meaning the government that issues it has complete and total control over every single unit of it that exists. Here is exactly what that means in practice. Right now, if you have $100 in your wallet, you can spend it on anything you want. At any time. Without anyone knowing. Without anyone being able to stop you. Without anyone being able to reverse the transaction. Without anyone being able to freeze your ability to spend it. A central bank digital currency changes every single one of those things simultaneously. Because every single unit of a central bank digital currency is programmable. Meaning the government that issues it can attach conditions to how it is spent, when it is spent, where it is spent, and by whom it is spent. This is not speculation. This is the explicit design feature of every central bank digital currency currently under development. And the implications for ordinary people's financial freedom are extraordinary. China is the most advanced country in the world in terms of central bank digital currency development and deployment. And the data from China's digital yuan program gives us the clearest possible picture of exactly what a central bank digital currency means for ordinary people in practice. China launched its digital yuan pilot program in April 2020. By 2023, the digital yuan had been distributed to over 260 million users across 26 cities through 5.6 million merchant locations. The Chinese government has used the digital yuan's programmability feature in several specific and immediately revealing ways. In 2021, the Chinese government issued digital yuan vouchers to citizens in Shenzhen that could only be spent at specific government-approved merchants. And that expired within a specific time window. If the digital yuan vouchers were not spent within the approved time frame, they automatically disappeared. Vanished. The government could create money that literally expired if not spent in ways it approved. In 2022, during COVID lockdowns, the Chinese government was able to freeze digital yuan holdings of citizens in lockdown areas, preventing them from making purchases that the government deemed non-essential. In 2023, Chinese authorities used the digital yuan's transaction tracking capabilities to identify and freeze the accounts of citizens involved in activities the government disapproved of. Within hours of those activities occurring, without any court order, without any legal process, without any warning, the digital yuan gave the Chinese government a level of financial surveillance and control over its citizens that was previously impossible with physical cash. And China is just the beginning. The European Central Bank launched the investigation phase of its digital euro project in October 2021. In October 2023, it moved into the preparation phase with a projected launch date of approximately 2027 to 2028. The European Central Bank's own published design documents for the digital euro reveal several extraordinary features. The digital euro will have programmability capabilities, allowing the European Central Bank to attach conditions to how and where it can be spent. The digital euro will have spending limit features, allowing governments to cap how much of it any individual citizen can hold at any one time. The European Central Bank has explicitly stated that individual digital euro holdings will be capped at approximately €3,000 per person. Any amount above that cap will automatically flow into a commercial bank account, meaning the European Central Bank has explicitly designed its digital currency to prevent ordinary people from holding large amounts of digital cash outside the commercial banking system. In the United States, the Federal Reserve published a discussion paper on a potential digital dollar in January 2022. Since then, over 50 pieces of legislation related to central bank digital currencies have been introduced in the United States Congress. In March 2022, President Biden signed an executive order directing federal agencies to research the potential development of a digital dollar. According to the Atlantic Council CBDC tracker, the United States is currently in the research phase of digital dollar development with significant and accelerating institutional momentum behind the project. Here is the data and the analysis that most financial channels and most mainstream media will never honestly present to ordinary people, because it is uncomfortable for powerful institutions. The replacement of physical cash with programmable government-issued digital currency represents a fundamental and permanent change in the relationship between ordinary people and their money. Physical cash is anonymous. A central bank digital currency is completely traceable. Physical cash can be spent on anything. A central bank digital currency can be programmed to be spent only on government-approved categories of goods and services. Physical cash never expires. A central bank digital currency can be programmed with an expiry date. Physical cash cannot be frozen by a government without a physical seizure. A central bank digital currency can be frozen instantly with a single keystroke. Physical cash gives ordinary people a degree of financial privacy and financial autonomy that has existed for approximately 3,000 years of human civilization. A central bank digital currency eliminates that privacy and autonomy completely and permanently. According to a 2023 survey by the Cato Institute, approximately 74% of Americans who are aware of central bank digital currencies oppose their introduction, specifically citing concerns about government surveillance of financial transactions and government control over individual spending. According to a 2023 survey by the European Central Bank, approximately 41% of European citizens expressed significant privacy concerns about the digital euro, despite the European Central Bank's assurances that privacy protections would be built into the system. The data is clear. When ordinary people understand what a central bank digital currency actually is and what it actually means for their financial freedom, the majority of them do not want it. But it is being built anyway. Here is what the data shows about how ordinary people can protect their financial freedom and their financial privacy during this transition. Gold has historically been the most reliable store of value outside the government-controlled financial system for approximately 5,000 years of human history. In 2026, gold has already risen to over $4,300 per ounce. up from approximately $300 per ounce in 2002. A gain of over 1,300% in just 24 years. Central banks around the world purchased approximately 1,037 tons of gold in 2023. The highest level of central bank gold buying in over 50 years. The same institutions that are building the digital currencies that will replace physical cash are simultaneously buying more physical gold than at any point in half a century. Bitcoin and other decentralized cryptocurrencies have also attracted significant attention as potential stores of financial privacy and autonomy outside the government-controlled financial system. Bitcoin rose from approximately $0.008 in 2010 to approximately $69,000 at its 2021 peak. The S&P 500 has historically returned approximately 10% annually and remains the single most powerful long-term wealth-building tool available to ordinary investors. And broad market index fund investing provides ordinary people with ownership stakes in the companies that will build and profit from the digital financial infrastructure being developed right now. Here is the single most important number in this entire video. 130. That is the number of countries representing 98% of global GDP that are actively developing their own digital currency right now. The transition from physical to digital money is not a future possibility. It is a present reality that is already well underway. Physical cash accounted for 68% of all global transactions in 2006. It accounts for just 17% today. And it is falling every single year. The only question that remains for every ordinary person watching this video is whether they will understand what is actually happening before it happens to them, or whether they will discover what a central bank digital currency actually means for their financial freedom only after physical cash has already disappeared. And the programmable digital money that replaced it has already been embedded into every aspect of their financial life. 98% of the world's governments are racing to replace your physical cash right now. That is not an opinion. That is the documented and publicly stated intention of 130 governments and central banks around the world. The day you understood what was actually being built was today.